first book I put together was the Mexica Handbook, which is 1995, and that was the subtitle, not Hispanic, not Latino, you know, and the idea was to deal with the issues of identity. Because at that point, this Hispanic, Latino thing, you know, it just wasn't being challenged, you know. And I said, okay, but we got to be able to put it together on paper and how to present this. And that was when we started the Mexica Movement website in 1996. I'm sorry, 1 year later. So this guy came up and said, well, I didn't know that much about the internet. He said, oh, this could be a website. And like I said, I didn't even know what the internet, as far as I knew, was all about emails, you know, and text. They didn't even have pictures back in those days. And so, over the years, continued doing the research, and the book right now is tentatively titled the Nican Tlaca Codex. Nican Tlaca, meaning all of us as indigenous people. Codex is just a term for an official book. So this is the official book of Nican Tlaca. And in it, there's an introduction going on about you know, the condition of our people, and the subtitle to it is A Guide to Enlightenment and Liberation, Key Points of Knowledge for Nican Tlaca about the accomplishments of our people and the crimes of Europeans. And in it, at the beginning, you know, dealing with the whole issue of ignorance and apathy and cowardice. I guess we didn't talk about that earlier. Cowardice is one of the big problems. Touched on it a little bit. It's about, you know, okay, remembering our Holocaust. Well, how can you remember something that you don't even know about? And that's part of what we got. We got the Columbus Day thing coming up, and that's kind of one of the things that now has been organized at Capistrano, because part of the Holocaust here was going on at the missions, and that's why the protest on Monday is going to be at Capistrano down in Orange County. So the book is to present a whole bunch of ideas for us to make reference to. It's going to be made into kind of like a spiral bound, you know, so you can put it on the table and teach your kids and actually teach yourself while you're going, you know. And talks about the whole issue of mixed blood and full blood, the sources where we're getting all this information from, the start questioning, you know, the so-called leaders, look at the Chicano studies and why they aren't teaching what is in this book. And the majority of the book is actually dealing with the accomplishments, and kind of a little bit of what was touched on earlier is, you know, you only understand that our minds are being wasted when you take a look at the accomplishments of our people. Whether some of you have seen the videos that we did on our pilgrimage, going to all these different places with all this beautiful architecture, undeniable. You know, where Chichen Itza is now a World Heritage thing, where people come from all over the world just to look at that. And there are other sites that haven't even been excavated. But then when you look at things like our writing system, whether it's a Mayan hieroglyphic system, or the mathematics that we developed, the knowledge of astronomy, all of these things give us a sense of, gee, we were doing that. We weren't just garbage collectors or cleaning buildings or selling oranges. And one of the little stories I put together is about the kind of little time travel thing where these two kids go back in time and they meet all the people in Tenochtitlan, all the great people in the city. And one of them is this great person who had been a great warrior and a great teacher and all this. And when they come back in time, there's this guy and he's pulling one of these ice cream trucks. And looks exactly like the guy who had been the great knowledge keeper and all of this. And I want to make that as a kind of visual thing that impact you to say, well, why is this guy selling ice creams or selling oranges now? This could be a judge. This could be a great philosopher. This could have been a great architect. This could you got the same intelligence, but what has happened? And this is part of, again, to answer the question, where we're going to be in 100 years, 150 years. We definitely got to take back our heritage. We got to be proud of who we are, but rightfully proud, based on, and this is why, and this is what we were doing. And once we have this understanding of, the importance of knowing history, that's kind of, if you look around the world, why are the Jews proud? Because they can look back and they can look at this, what we did. Why are the Americans proud? Because this is what we did. Well, they're not telling the whole truth, but it still makes them proud, even if they're lies. Okay? Or why are the Chinese proud? Or why are whoever around the world? Because they know their history. With us, we mostly know false histories or negative versions of our own history. And this is part of what we want us to be. Right now, if you think of Nican Tlaca people, whether you call them Mexicans or Native Americans or Salvadorians or Peruvians, the first thing that comes to your mind is not, these are people of knowledge. These are very intelligent people. These are creative people. That's not what comes to our mind, even with our own people. And that's something that we need to change. And when we educate our own people, we educate the rest of the world that, this is the people that are building these great cities. They developed the concept of zero before anybody else. They had more knowledge of astronomy. They had all of this. And then our own people say, gee, I didn't know that. And it'll strengthen ourselves. So this knowledge is not just for us. It should be for the rest of the world. But it starts with knowing this history. And at the same time, it's understanding the evil nature of what colonialism was. There's nothing positive about colonialism. For us, plenty positive for the people who are the colonizers. In the same way, what's positive of somebody who gets robbed? Nothing positive for the guy who gets robbed, but the person who is a robber, yeah, there's great profit in it for them. So the book goes on about, once people know this history of accomplishments for us, it definitely should give us the pride because we're lacking pride. But on the other hand, there's some guilt and some shame missing from the people who've been colonizing us and who've been destroying us and keeping us as an enslaved people. And this book is going to be a guidance out of this colonialism. Today, this is part of the guidance out of colonialism. And as we've gone around the room, it's kind of, we're all kind of in different states of ignorance, and I include myself. We're in different states of psychological damage, different states of enslavement to this economic system. Like you were saying, well, we still got to drive a car or take transportation. We still need to use this money system. We still have to, we're stuck. And you can't say, well, I'm moving out of this. I'm going to go naked into the forest, and how long are you going to last? At least take a penknife with you or something, We have to be practical about what we're doing and how we approach all of this. And to be aware that we are being deprived of this knowledge of the accomplishments of our people. And we're being deprived of the knowledge of the crimes that have been committed against us. We are being deprived of the wealth of this continent every day. Gold is being